needed to know what was going to happen and have that certainty that we weren't just fooling around, because that didn't mean sex necessarily to me, right? All right, with the sexual.
Yes.
So the sexual shadow, we talked about, you got to get to that end goal. And this limited definition of sexuality being a really important piece. For me, I needed so much certainty that we were going to get there. Like, Ian, all right, we can't even have sex until we have this discussion.
I would lay in bed and I would want to cuddle. That was my way of warming up to you.
Yep.
And then she was like, okay, I guess we're just going to sleep. And unless I told her we're going to have sex and we are going to...
And that means intercourse.
And we will result in
have
climax.
An orgasm. Or a climax.
Her nervous system couldn't settle down to then relax and then open to me.
I needed to know what was going to happen and have that certainty that we weren't just fooling around, because that didn't mean sex necessarily to me, right? Okay.
And also with sexual, there's the shame piece, which I talked about in an earlier video. For me, putting my sexuality and my desire out there felt like it was an imposition on others. So that created a layer of shame about my sexual desire and turn on until I unraveled that shadow that was down there. I didn't have access fully to my sexual.
Ian just said something that I think is really important. He said, down there. These parts and aspects and shadows can be like somewhere in our body. We might feel it down here, up here, in our shoulder. So that's interesting, kind of combining what you learned about body reveals with this. Like, where does that shadow start to show up? What are the characteristics of the shadow?
Another thing with sexual is it can be associated to different genders. Different, like a cisgendered male can be boxed in as like, okay, he's sexual. And for a cisgendered female, that person might be shamed for being overtly sexual.
You're a slut or something like that can come up.